Well, I absolutely love digging it all and seeing what comes out of the ground next. Well, welcome to Finding America. It's really great to see you here. Now, I recently got a very cool photo from Phil, who lives in the great state of Kentucky, showing off some of the relics he's recovered on top of his Finding America drop cloth. Well, I really appreciate you sending me that photo, Phil, and honestly, you've done an awesome job restoring those relics that you found. Now, if you'd like to send me a picture of yourself wearing your favorite Finding America attire, or even using your Finding America drop cloth like Phil did, you can do so by emailing me at findingamerica01@gmail.com. Well, it was another very difficult weekend for metal detecting, but I really wanted to get out and go back to that empty field across from the old cemetery that I've featured in some past videos recently. Now, it was hot as heck, and the ground was like concrete. But anytime I can get out on an old site with my Minelab Equinox 800 and dig it all, it always makes me happy. So I got out there, I gave it my all, I found some very interesting finds, and I really hope you enjoy watching this one. Well, my very first target, just stepped out here, and I was getting a 2021 underneath some roots, about 6 inches. It took me a little while to be able to see the date on this one, but it is a 1918 Wheatie. So once again, picking up where I left off, and happy to see this one. Well, this one was giving me a nice 25 signal. Dug down, and what do you know? Another Model T valve stem retaining nut. I'll tell you, I've already dug about 8 more shotgun shells. So I have found a lot of shotgun shells and Model T parts. They were heavily armed drivers parking in this parking lot. Well, this one was giving me a 19 to 20 signal, about 6 inches down. Got a nice old buckle here, and it says Opera on it. That's one I have not seen, nor have I found it before. Maybe it'll have a patent date when I get home and get it cleaned up a little bit more, but that's a real nice heavy duty one too. So very happy to find that one. Well, I was getting a nice 20-21 signal here, just about 4 inches down. Got another early Wheatie. I took a peek at this one. It's going to be a 1924. That's a date I don't find very often, so pretty cool. And we'll keep on swinging around here. Well, I decided to switch over to 6-inch coil. Got an area here near these trees where there's just a ton of signals, and I got one that was right up against a root here. Finally got it out, and that's the inner frame to a pocket watch. Pretty cool. Maybe I'll get lucky and have something on it. I think it does. Let's see. Yeah, I can't make it out right now, but I think it definitely has a maker's mark on it, so that's cool. We'll hopefully be able to date it. Well, I was getting a 16 here, dug down about 4 inches. Kind of unusual. I think it's a pair of front wheels and tires to a toy car, maybe. Not quite sure. I'll get it cleaned up when I get home, but if it is, it's definitely an old toy car, 30s, 40s maybe. So pretty cool piece there, but I'll wait to figure it out when I get home and can clean it up. Well, I was getting an 18, and I dug down about 6 inches, And I saw this and I thought, oh, another shotgun shell. But then I looked, I've got a ring. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up and we'll see if it has anything on it. So pretty darn cool, nice old ring. Well, check it out, pretty cool. It looks like an old initial ring. I believe it's a D, but man, that's probably gonna be 20s or 30s. That's pretty old. Very cool. That was a nice little surprise. Well, this one was bouncing between 11 and 13 for a VDI. Dug down and I saw the bowl, and check it out, I got another iron spoon. That's a third iron utensil from this spot. But I got an awesome bonus find too. Check it out. I saw it rolling around, and it's an early clay marble. 1800s, very nice. Well, this one was giving me a 2122, and I thought it might be a weedy, but it isn't. Some kind of strange piece. I've been brushing it off. It appears to be made of lead. I just have no idea what that is. Pretty weird little piece, but just thought I'd show it to you. It's kind of interesting looking. Well, I'll tell you what, hunting out here has become a battle. It's so hot, and this ground is so hard. I'm just having to chip away at it a bit at a time. This time I was getting a 14, and I finally got it out. It looks to be the top to an old oil lamp where the wick would come through. So, nice old find right there, and I'm going to see what else I can get out here. It's difficult hunting for sure. Well, yet another mystery item solved this week thanks to all of you watching last week. You may recall in the previous video called Empty Field Full, I showed you a screw cap that had an amazing mythological griffin on it. Well, thanks to a viewer, One Agent Frog, who was watching the video and immediately let me know that that cap was used by the Griffin Shoe Polish Company that was once located in Brooklyn, New York. Well, this cap was used in the early 1900s, and I want to thank everyone else out there that helped to solve this amazing little mystery find. Well, this was a nice signal bouncing between 19 and 21. Just a few inches down, I popped it out. All I did was clear the date off a little bit. I'm going to wait to clean this at home. But it's an early weedy 1920 with the Denver mint mark. So that's very cool. Glad to have that one, and I'm going to put this one in the pouch and keep on going. Well, I was getting a big time high tone here, and look at what I got out of this hole. It's a little boy. He's got a hole right here where his hand is, and I think I know what this is. I think it went to a whirligig. Now, it was kind of a motion thing you put in your yard. Had a sort of a big blade in the front that caught the wind like a windmill, and every time the wind blew, this would rock back and forth. I think this is what it is. Well, I only lasted about 2.5 hours out in the heat at that spot. But after I was in the car, had the AC going for a while, I felt like I'd recovered enough to stop by at one of my permissions alongside the river. Now, I made some nice finds. I found a very strange piece of silver, and I met up with a couple of real quackers. Well, this is giving me a pretty nice high tone, and it turned out to be a mule shoe. Still has some of the hobnails in it. So that's pretty cool. That's definitely an oldie there. Well, got this little button Kind of neat. Probably 60s, maybe 70s. Little coat button. Iron back. So, might be a little bit older, but just a neat little piece. Thought I'd share that one with you. Well, this one was giving me a 22, and I dug down and I pulled this out. But I tell you what, I am almost absolutely sure that this is silver. Look at that. It's got two holes on the back like a blowhole button. It's got this coming off of it, but here's the front. I mean, it's ringing high and everything, so I'll test it when I get home, but I am pretty darn sure this is going to be a silver piece. I just don't have any idea what it went to. Looks like a threaded post maybe. Well, this pair jumped out of the river to come check me out. I don't know, they've just been walking around me as I've been digging this hole. I tell you, the brown and white one is definitely, that's pretty unusual. What a beautiful duck. Well, that 6-inch coil is sniffing them out, and got a brief high tone. Had to go down about 6-7 inches, but I got a nice weedy. It's going to be a 1957. So happy to get that, but yeah, even after I opened the hole, signal disappeared. Turned it on the edge, but I kept going after it and eventually got it. I just dug up this old toy car. That's pretty cool. It might be 70s or 80s. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. I think it's a Hot Wheels. And figure out what year it is and what it looks like. But I always like digging up the toy cars. This one was giving me a 16 and another shotgun shell. I cleaned it off. It was sitting in the plug like this and I put it back. But it's going to be an old Peters 12 gauge target round. So probably 40s. I always like these because it has that really cool stylized P in the center. And these also have this knurled edge along the base. So kind of neat looking head stamp. Well, after about an hour, the heat got to me and I was done for the day. But I really wanted to get back out there the next morning and head back to that 1800s house permission that I've also featured in some of my recent videos. Now this time I wanted to really concentrate on using the small coil, the 6-inch coil with the Equinox, and I knew it was going to produce some interesting finds, and it definitely did. Well, I was getting an 8 on the VDI, and about 6 inches down I pulled out a little suspender buckle. It actually still pivots and everything, and you can see the anti-slip part there with the teeth. So pretty cool. I don't see any markings, but I'll get it cleaned up when I get home. But nice little find. Well, this one was giving me a 19 and about 4 inches down. Got an old lipstick tube. Now I brushed it off here, and it's pretty cool because it says distributed by Len and Fink, Bloomfield, New Jersey. I think it's New Jersey. But Len and Fink is a pretty famous company. They had a huge toothpaste business, and they also got into cosmetics, like this lipstick tube. So this one's going to be probably 30s, right in that area, and pretty cool. I'll get it cleaned up a little bit more when I get home. Well, Len and Fink were a very famous and successful company back in the day. It was founded in 1874 in New York City, and they began making cosmetics in 1926. Well, Len and Fink are also famous for another product that I know we're all very familiar with. Way back in 1889, one of the partners, Frederick Fink, traveled overseas and attended the Paris Exposition. Well, while Frederick was there, he was able to secure the rights to a brand new product, a disinfectant called Lysol. In the beginning, they imported it in small bottles in small amounts and sold it to physicians to use during their surgeries. Well, it didn't take long before word got out about this new miracle product, Lysol, and it grew in popularity. It became a staple in every American household, and soon Len and Fink were importing this product from France by the barrelful. Well, Len and Fink were eventually bought out in 1966, but Lysol has remained one of America's best-selling products to this day. Well, this is giving me a slamming high tone, about 27 all the way up to 33. Turned out to be a mangled up mason jar lid, but I got a few bonus finds out of it. I got this red button here with a Greek key pattern around it. That's pretty cool. And then I saw this flash out of the hole. I'll have to clean it up, but it kind of looks like a clasp for a wristwatch. But the really cool thing I found, and I'm so glad I spotted this before it disappeared back into the dirt, but I got this amazing looking small little glass button. Pretty cool design on it. I'll give you a better close-up picture of it after I get it cleaned up, but not too bad. A couple buttons out of that one. Well, just working in this really trashy area, I jacked my recovery speed up to 7. The signals are just on top of each other here, and I managed to squeak out an 11 and check out what it was. Some very ornate piece right there. I don't know if it went on furniture or not, but it is very thin. Very cool. You can see that piece is folded down where it nailed on. This one's still up. Wow, that's an awesome piece there. Probably late 1800s on that piece. I love pieces like this. One, they look great in the showcases, they display well, but it's amazing to find one that's pretty much still intact. So, I definitely like that. Well, this is kind of cool. It's giving me a 16-17 signal. I pulled out a ton of big nails, but then I finally found what was giving me the target. And we found a lot of inside mechanisms to pocket watches, but this is actually an inside frame for a wristwatch. You can see the sort of tabs on each end. It's pretty cool. You don't usually find those very often. And just thought I'd show you that one. Well, this one was only 18 this way, but when I swung this way, it was giving me a nice high tone. And I saw this old jar liner first, but then look what popped out. Very cool. Old lipstick tube again. I don't see anything on it, but you never know until you get it cleaned up. I'll put this one in apple cider vinegar and it should turn out pretty nice. But more antique makeup from the 1800s house. Well, I tell you what, it's hot, 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 but perseverance. I mean, I've said it a million times on this channel, patience and perseverance. And I'm in the field behind that old house where their trash dump was, and I'm just pulling piece of garbage, piece of garbage, piece of garbage. Still getting some good tones. I'm still cleaning it out. I got this really nice looking piece of porcelain there. That's pretty awesome. But I was just going through the hole a little bit more, and look what popped out. Something big and round. It's not silver. I thought it was a token, then I thought play money. It's got an eagle on it. Oh, that's really cool. It's about the size of a quarter. It's actually bigger. So let me get this sprayed off, but maybe my perseverance has paid off again. I'll tell you what, I've never dug one of these. It's got this awesome eagle in the center, and it says look on the top, and it says savings medallion. I don't know if the bank handed them out or it's a play savings token. Same thing on the back side. But how cool is that? I'll tell you what, I like it. And I think I'm just about worn out too. Well, I definitely gave it my all out there, and I really hope you enjoyed watching this episode. I have to admit, when I was watching the clips and putting this video together, I started sweating all over again watching myself out in that heat. So I thought this week I'm going to show you some cool historical photos, and they are guaranteed to bring back fond memories for all of us. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure, and I cannot wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.